Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners.
Goldylocks Productions presents the Live from Little Bear Sanctuary show with Christopher Vane. Enjoy topics such as the vegan lifestyle, sanctuary media highlights, and spotlighting new rescues.
Happy Friday, friends. Welcome to Live from Little Bear Sanctuary. I'm your host, Chris Vane, and we have a great show today. For those of you who are watching live, don't forget to subscribe, say hello, ask some questions. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to make an account and hit that like button, subscribe. You know, those numbers really help our show and all the shows on Goldylocks Network. Ask me questions, send me if you guys have any questions. If you want to see anybody on my show, you can email me at info@littlebearsanctuary.org. And gosh, you guys know how to reach me on Facebook and Instagram and all those places. And I had a friend reached out to me yesterday on Instagram and had a great idea. She asked if I would do a 21-day vegan challenge. And I thought, what a great idea, because I know a lot of you guys are interested in veganism and sort of don't know where to start and don't know what to eat. And I know sometimes, when you're in a supermarket, it's even hard to know what section to go to find various products. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out some dates where I can do 3 Fridays in a row. And I'll bring in some vegan chefs, and I'll do something in a supermarket that I'll pre-tape to kind of give you guys an idea of what to look for, how to find stuff. And then we can also talk about everybody's progress each week. So that's going to probably come up in March, and I'm looking forward to it. Who's with me today? Gloria. Good morning, Gloria. Gloria, thank you for that donation. Everything came through. Truly appreciate it. Gloria's tuning in from Chile. Super Space Cookie, good morning. How are you? Jennifer, good morning, Jennifer. Elizabeth is here. Elizabeth says, hi, Jeremy. Elizabeth, did you hear what I said about the 21-day challenge? That was Elizabeth's idea. So I'm really excited to do that, Elizabeth, and I hope you have fun. Good morning, Kim. How you doing, sweetie? Kim, I got to say happy birthday to Kim. It was her birthday yesterday. And happy birthday, Kim. Love you to death. Love everything you're doing for the sanctuary. And I'm so happy that you are a part of my life. I wonder sometimes if I'd be in the loony bin right now if it weren't for you. So thank you, Kim. Good morning, Robin. How are you? God, we got a lot of people on today. Let's get right into the show. My guest today is a soul coach and motivational medium, helping people to heal deeply and live life fully, channeling from the higher realms, intuitive insights and inspirational messages to clients all over the world. Jeremy teaches people how to create their best life by partnering with spirit. He's an award-winning author of Life and Business Astrology Advisor. Welcome to the studio. Fellow podcaster and host of his own show here on the Goldylocks Network. Jeremy Riden, how are you, sweetie?
Oh, it's so awesome to be finally on this Little Bear Sanctuary show. I'm glad to be here.
I'm happy you're here. I always love when I get to have somebody that I know on the show. I get to learn a lot about them, and I get to ask all the silly questions that I've always wanted to ask. So,
so is this going to be a PG show, or we're going to have?
I don't know. We'll have to ask.
Your discretion of thine.
Your discretion.
Maybe.
Oh goodness. Oh, Robin, what's going on, Robin? Oh no, I'm really sorry to hear about your mom, Robin. prayers to you. Melissa, good morning, Melissa. Good afternoon, Melissa. Melissa Parks also has a show here on the Goldylocks Network. And I always forget people's times and days. When's your show on, Jeremy?
Tuesdays at 8. And Melissa's Joyful Find Days Wednesday at 1, I believe. I heard. I could be wrong.
I knew I had you here for a reason today. So, Divine Spark Ministries, what's that all about?
Well, so, as a minister, to give everyone a little bit of my background, I was actually raised very fundamental, right Christian. And then I rose up. I like that look on your face all of a sudden. Yes, well, I was in that generation. I'm still part of that generation in America where everyone's automatically Christian, or they're are good Easter or Sunday. But I actually was very connected to Spirit my whole life, and I went to seminary, and I was a missionary for many years. Oh, wow. And but one thing about me is I was very sincere in my faith. And so what does that mean? That means when I was traveling, I was always like, I wanted to learn more. I wanted to learn more. Instead of just sending people to hell or saying people's lifestyles were wrong automatically, I wanted to understand. And that sincerity of wanting to know more gave me my spiritual awakening. It allowed me to see that God is so much bigger, whether you call it Goddess, God, life force, whatever you want to call it. That I call it the divine spark. I call it, that essence that's beyond us. It's bigger than any tribe, religion, any man's concept. So the divine spark is, I know for me, this maybe no one for else, but for me in all my travels and dealing with thousands of people, I believe we all come in with an essence of divinity in us. And that is the creative potential. When they say in the beginning, God created, he said, go forth and multiply. And a lot of people are talking about, having children, but really he's saying, go forth and create. What are you creating? That's what life is about. It's about creating. Hopefully we can learn how to create love, create peace, create joy, create happiness. And so Divine Spark Ministries is helping people reach their highest good, reach their full potential by connecting to that inner divinity in themselves, listening to their intuition, trusting their intuition, and knowing that there is a part of them that will live on forever and is connected to the source. I believe we came from that creator, and we'll go back to that creator in whatever form or fashion. And right now, what I want to do right now is I just want to grow that divine spark. I just want to grow my creativity. I want to grow my soul. And that's what we do, is we help people grow their soul to live their best life, Chris.
Yeah, I love that. I totally connect with that. I grew up going to Catholic school for 12 years. And you
must look real cute in those little outfits.
Yeah, right. The little green jacket with the little crest. It's fashionable now, but back then it was like, oh gosh. But I remember, I think, and this is what got me through 12 years of Catholic school. I always knew I was different, and when you're young, you don't have a word for certain things, or and I also, and I must be an old soul, because very early on, I remember it was second grade, third grade, like really young. We had to do our first confession. That's really big and back then it was you went into the little booth and you had to, if you didn't go to church on Sunday back then, you were going to hell. Like, it's changed a lot. And that was one of my first, I confess, oh my God, I didn't go to church Sunday. And the priest was so mean to me and scared the crap out of me. And he's like, you're going to hell, you need to go, and blah, 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 and on and on. And something that day, a voice, a feeling at, gosh, what was I, 8 years old, maybe? I just said, this is bullshit. This cannot be how it is. And literally from that point on, I didn't worry about, gosh, what was I doing wrong, or the guilt associated with so many things that a lot of religions bring with it. It's a lot of guilt-based stuff. So yeah, I totally connect with your
You have to be an old soul at 8 years old.
I seriously, I remember to this day, like it was, you always remember like something in your life that burns in your memory. And to this day, I'll remember that day forever. Isn't that crazy?
And I'm so excited for the younger generation now that are growing up with more freedom to express their sexuality, to express their identity, and they're all being authentic. But there's still a lot of homophobia. There's still a lot of hate. There's still mostly what I call willful ignorance. And
absolutely.
But I think what I love is, even though there's 48-year-olds, 58-year-olds, there's even 68-year-olds right now, Chris, that they're listening to you, and they'd be like, I wish I could have had that kind of revelation that God loved me, Spirit loved me no matter what. And they're still struggling with guilt. What would you say to someone right now is listening to you and they're like, how do you, because a lot of people are Catholic. How do you let go? Yeah. How do you, and that could be another whole show, but it's funny. I'm friends with a few people from back in that day, and a few of them like still say the rosary and are just still so, I don't know if the word's connected. I don't like to say brainwashed, but, and I equate it to veganism too, like we were all lied to growing up. And so for some people, the guilt is so difficult that they're afraid. There's so much fear in letting that go. And I mean, I don't know what I would say, honestly. I mean, it's really hard to take people away from such a core belief. Yeah. And I think literally we could have a whole show on that subject. We could sometime on that. Before I went into what I would call universal spiritualism, right? Yeah. Even as I traveled all over the world as a missionary, for about a good 12 years, I co-pastored down in St. Pete, Florida. Okay. In Tampa area. And then I eventually became on the pastoral board of one of the first GBLT churches in that area. Oh, wow. And cool. It was a Pentecostal church. So you might even heard of it. It was called Potter's House, and right here in Tampa. And but here's the situation for me. The reason why I bring it up is when I first went into an affirming church, I sat there and I'm like, all these people are gonna be wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong because of all that brainwash. And then, but I had been so sincere with God. I had been, always just real with having a connection. And I remember sitting in that service, and I felt the Holy Spirit come and touch me. And I felt what I call an encounter, just like how you heard that voice in 8. I felt God touch me, and I said, "Whoa, you're touching me here, God. I'm feeling you here." And it's like it was the same love that I felt in any other congregation, in any other church, any other place. That same love, and that's what also speeded up my journey into spiritualization, because they all say the same thing, right? Love, 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 and that's probably ultimate what's going to lead more people to veganism and lead people more into respecting the earth and respecting animals. One of the reasons why, and I'm not 100% vegan, but I'm going to do that challenge. I've been being led that way. Why am I being led that way? I'm being led that way because I'm increasing in love. And when you increase in love, all the old ancient Eastern teachings, do no harm, right? Do no harm. Absolutely. But when you love something, and I'll go back to you and let you ask questions. But a lot of the reasons why I think, besides why veganism has had such a resistance at different times, is look how we treat the earth. There's no respect for the earth. If you don't respect the earth, you're not going to respect the creatures of the earth. And then let's take it even further. The reason why there's such a fight against animal rights is because we don't even respect human rights. We don't even, and so and that's the thing, the more that we as a society honor the right for people to live their life fully on their own terms with dignity and respect, and then turn around and honor the right to respect this earth, right? Then you'll see the increase of veganism, because then we begin to say, oh, not only does the earth have rights, not only does everyone else have rights, but every animal on this planet has rights. And that's what you do is beautiful, because you're educating us. All the activists out there, what they're doing is they're making us aware, but it is a revival of love. Yeah. Simply love that sparks in the heart. That, you know, that's what this stuff is really doing. And you're doing that. Thank you, buddy, for helping us, because what happened, and I get me going, but what people will see is the more that we love animals, the more that we love earth, the more that we love other people's rights, even if we don't agree with maybe what we wouldn't do it their way, the more that we show that respect of people having their freedom and dignity, all of a sudden, the more we feel respectful in ourselves. All of a sudden, the more we feel happy in ourselves. So my thing today is, what you want in yourself, give to another. Do it for another. Do it for an animal. And watch all of a sudden your spirit change. You can't. I'm gonna let you go. You shouldn't have got the church going. You can take the preacher out of the pulpit. You know what they say? You can take the preacher out of the pulpit, but the pulpit can't take out of the preacher. What I mean by this is, and I'm gonna go back to you, but I know, preach it. If you know the quickest way, some of the quickest way to get rid of depression, to change your mood, is you begin to love an animal. You begin to be kind to an animal. It will change. Some of the most, you go on TikTok right now, and everyone shows these pictures. My dad said he ain't getting no blankety blank dog, and if he did, then we have to take care of it. And you look at the dad, and he looks like a mean FMFer. Looks like, you know what, he's been married to a woman he don't love for 40 years, working his back, and he's still in debt. That's the kind of look he's got. But you get an animal in there, 3 months later, it is the most gentle, loving, kind side of this man. The question is this: did that man change? Yes, he changed. But this is the thing. The gentleness and the kindness and the love was always there. It was buried in these, it was just buried. But an animal has a way of uncovering what makes us human. That's why we got to have them in our homes. That's why we got to have them in our environment. Because, don't bring an animal in your environment. If you want the best of humanity, bring an animal in, because it is what will bring those emotions that make you feel human. All right, I'm hushing up. Back to you. Sorry.
Total unconditional love. And it goes to the point of, why love one and eat the other? People connect with dogs and cats and horses, and there's such a disconnect with pigs and cows and goats and chickens. Gosh, chickens, poor chickens. The fish in the sea, gosh, that's a whole other episode too. If you Google, there's a great, it's an animal timer on Google, and it counts the number of animals killed every second, every minute, and you can watch that counter, and it's staggering. It's truly, truly staggering.
While Chris is coming back, I want to let you all know is he was talking about how staggering it is for all the amount of meat that we consume. On a side note, what I wanted to let you know is I just saw something that was on when I was getting my coffee today that was a little funny. Guess what? People consume 100 pounds of I think it was every second. 100 pounds every second. This is being consumed on the world. Are you ready? Dun, 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 dun. What do you think it is? Chocolate. Every second, 100 pounds of chocolate is being consumed in the world. It's crazy. There he is. Hey, welcome to Little Bear Sanctuary. And our guest today is Chris Vance. Chris, we like to have you on here today. We just kind of
I don't know what just happened there.
What you were doing is you were telling us about, love. Once you really get into love, you're not going to just love doesn't discriminate. All of a sudden, I'm going to love my family, but then I'm going to eat all these chickens. And definitely.
Exactly. Yeah, the counter, the whole thing. It's great saying. As long as there are slaughterhouses, there will be war, and I'm a true believer of that. If there's any doubt, there's so many videos out there to show what the inside of a slaughterhouse looks like.
Yes. Now it looks like you froze again, Chris. So everyone, you can go on Venmo and let's put up Chris's website, Tiffany, when we get a chance. If anybody wants to donate, you can donate to this nonprofit that is loving all these animals. That's his account right there on Venmo, Little Bear Sanctuary. These animals need our love and our protection. I'm going to let you know that when you give to the animals, the universe gives back to you. I believe that in my spirit, that when you take care of the animals and you're a good steward of the animals, God, the universe, you name it, they begin to come into your life. And so, there shouldn't be any single people out there. Shouldn't be any single. What do you mean I shouldn't be single? Well, if you're single, go adopt an animal. Go adopt an animal. Even if you can't have that animal in your home, you can adopt an animal in the sanctuary. I adopted Tula, that little black pig that you see Chris holding on to. That baby girl, I give a donation every month to help her be fed. And you know what? Since I started doing that, I have seen my own income increase. All these preachers always get on. They're talking about give to me, and God will bless you. And the only person getting rich is the preacher. I want to tell you, when you give your money to the animals are being blessed. The earth is being blessed. Pollution is coming down. Carbon dioxide is coming down because we're killing less animals. We're saving the earth. You're saving the earth. You're making a difference. One animal, two animals, you become an instrument of spirit to make everything right again on this planet. I mean, if you notice, when did Adam and Eve, if we go into the Christian Old Testament, when we look at that story, right? Adam and Eve were in paradise. Adam and Eve had everything. The first time any animal was ever killed, anytime an animal was ever killed, is when Adam and Eve, in this story, because of disobedience, was kicked out of the garden. And what happened? They begin to kill animals. They had to cover them up. And we can't use animals anymore and think that we're going to stay in paradise. Because anytime we kill animals, as soon as they started killing animals, they were no longer in the Garden of Eden. They were no longer in paradise. If we want to go back to a world that is healthy, if we want to go back to a world that is, clean living, clean world, climate change, if we want to go back to a world that is more in line with paradise, then we got to stop killing these animals senselessly. We got to go back to healthy eating. Got to go back to those fruits, those vegetables. Got to go back to those things. If your health, think about this. If so much, we talk about money all the time. So much money in the government is wasteful. Why? Because people are getting diseases, and these diseases can't be healed. And so we're spending thousands and thousands of dollars on health insurance because we're getting these diseases, but these diseases aren't a mystery. These diseases aren't an accident. These diseases are related to what we're putting in our body. And so I can tell you right now, we could lengthen life. We could cut the debt down. We could take a lot of the sickness away if we would go back to paradise, go back to fruits, go back to vegetables, go back to taking care of the earth. Your skin would clear up. Your energy would perk up. And it would, listen, Chris is back, but I'm going to tell you, if you're moody and you're angry and you're upset, it's probably what you're eating. We don't give enough understanding that what you put into your temple creates an energy, it creates a vibration. And so all these people that are killing all these animals and eating all these animals unmercifully, they're actually putting an energy in their body that causes cancer, that causes diseases, and so am I saying everyone that's got cancer is because they eat meat? I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is we have the answer in front of us. We know it already. The evidence is there. The only thing that needs to change is not the information, is not the knowledge, it's our heart. And that's what Little Bear Sanctuary is doing. Little Bear is saving animals, but it's also ultimately saving the planet, and it's saving us. So your donation, your love, and you sharing this with everyone helps people like Chris help us get back to paradise. Welcome back, Chris Vance, the Little Bear Sanctuary.
Amen. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the internet today. I think I'm okay now. I switched internet connections, and that was really strange. But Big Brother's watching.
What's going on, Chris?
They're shutting us down. They're shutting us down.
Cancer culture.
Yeah, right.
You asked the question, but what's really neat for everyone.
What did I miss?
You missed, man. You're not miss anything. I'm just, buddy. I'm just trying to help. But what's neat in astrology, because I do astrology to help people, and Tiffany has mentioned this, and I just saw this from some of the Hindu Vedics, that in Hinduism, there's not 12 zodiac signs. There's actually 27. And these are they don't look at the seasons of Earth for astrology. They actually look at the constellation of the skies, the permanent stars. And there was always a 28th constellation, a 28th sign, but they never talked about it because it was too far away. And so they never really talked about this sign because it was too far away. And they said it wasn't in the if it's too far away, the stars, it won't be in the consciousness of the world. Well, just a few months ago, a year or two ago, Tiffany can tell you about this. That star that they're talking about is the star of Vegas, and it's the constellation of Vegas. And Vegas, in the system that we're talking about, is veganism. It is the star of veganism. It is the star of loving the earth and the planet. It's always been there, but it's been far away out of, advanced souls like Chris and all you that are watching this channel, and all of you that have been vegan for, most of your life, half of your life, whatever, and giving your money. You are an old, wise soul. But many other people are going to finally start having consciousness. They're going to start getting it, because that energy of that star, the energy of that constellation is saying, okay, and what's neat? It's the North Star. It's our North Star. So the North Star is your compass. The North Star is your destiny. The North Star is your direction. That is changing. It used to be Regulus. Now that North Star is Vega. So that means that veganism is compassion, because vegan means compassion. That's the destiny of the earth. So thank you, Chris. I'm excited. I'm just trying to encourage everyone out there that is watching today. Do not give in.
Yeah, I love it.
Go ahead,
You're
my
awesome.
friend.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah, it's things are changing. People are changing. I'm just finishing up my last class at Cornell, getting my certified plant-based nutrition. I have a pig racing around the office right now. It's like, whoa, she's tap dancing. That's Tulip. I'm going to bring her on in a minute. But, I'm finishing this incredible. I wish everybody could take this certification. We were never meant to eat animals. Animal protein, what it does inside our body is it destroys our cells. It destroys how we make insulin. It destroys how we get rid of cholesterol, how our liver works, how our kidneys work, how our brain functions, mood, depression, anxiety. When you eat an animal that has been caged its whole life, tortured its whole life, gets sent to the slaughterhouse, is boiled alive, stabbed in the neck. You're eating that energy, that animal's fear and depression and the hormones that are released are insane. Just the hormones in general in animals, in cow's milk when they're lactating, and baby calf growth fluid. It's insane that people today will still put this crap in their body. Great book, How Not to Die. One of the leading physicians telling everybody to switch to a plant-based diet. You can reverse heart disease. You can stop cancer. It's as simple as changing your diet. If you hate animals and you want your health, like for whatever if just for your own health, changing to a whole foods plant-based diet will change your life forever. And again, you go back to how you were raised, like with religion, it's the same with food. You were taught you need dairy for calcium, or you're going to have osteoporosis, and you got to eat meat for protein. And, and I see like comments online, you see the people who are like, I'm never going to give up bacon, and I'm never, bacon is a class 1 carcinogen with cigarettes. The World Health Organization figured that out years ago. People don't care. For some reason, there's this hold on these old school nonsense philosophies. And gosh, I've been vegan 11 years. Look at me dying of protein deficiency over here, and my teeth are falling out. And it's so funny. The protein, animal protein comes from the plants they eat. That's where it's coming from. Eating that animal, you're basically eating what that animal ate. And if you think about that, that's even scarier, what some of these animals are fed. So yeah, don't get me started, Jeremy. I'm all like, ooh. No. Those animals are fed so many things that are not natural for our body. I wouldn't be surprised if they're putting drugs in the animals that get us hooked. That they're putting stuff in that, because always listen, people, follow the money. Follow the money. Yeah, it's all about money. It's all about money. Yeah, it really does come down to money. The meat lobby is tremendous. The pharmaceutical industry is tremendous. They don't want you off these drugs. They don't want you healthy. They want you to go to the hospital. They want you to be on these. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. You have the key to changing your health. Obesity in this country is out of control. Coronary artery disease is the #1 killer. Obesity is #2. And people still line up for their McDonald's and their fast food and their processed food. And there's vegan processed foods too that are not the healthiest, but they're still half of what the meat alternative is. And the good thing is there's no cholesterol in any vegan products, but, I digress. But, it's a great way to start, switch to those burgers and switch to the meat alternatives and, find those things that taste exactly like what you like and what you're used to. And I've learned through this class, and this was a big wake up for me because I'm a junk food vegan. My diet is, I'm like, there's a little scoring test they do, to tell you, kind of figure out where you are with your health. And I would score like a 51. I'm like really down there, and I'm vegan. So I'm making some changes in my life to eat more of a whole foods diet. Trying to get away from a lot of those fatty burgers and just oil in general. I'm really trying to go oil-free and sugar-free. Sugar is a big killer too. So yeah. How are you, Jeremy?
The only sugar you should be getting is some of those sexy lips, baby. That's the only.
Amen to that. So let's get back to you. You were talking about astrology. Are you laughing, Jeremy? How'd you get into it? Like, did you like just say, oh my God, like, did you feel like calling to it? How did that come about?
Well, I'm a Scorpio rising. And so naturally, Scorpios are very, they're all about digging, research, true. What's really underneath everything. And so once again, because of my background in the church being taught all this stuff, I was taught it's satanic, it's the devil. And, but I just needed to know things for myself. And so if people say to me, Jeremy, do you believe in astrology? I mean, maybe 12 years ago, I would have said, yeah, I believe in it. Now I would say, no, I don't say I believe in it. I know it. The stuff maybe that you're reading in the newspapers, yeah, a lot of that's crazy. If you're only looking at your sun sign, yeah, you're not getting enough. Because in astrology, you're all the planets at the time that you were born in the configuration. I've seen enough to know that astrology works. It works. And so that's how I got into it. And I started putting it part of my practice. I was an intuitive life coach. And so I coach a lot of people in business and in their life. And I started using their chart. I started incorporating people's charts into their coaching. And it just proven to be right. And so, it's good. I would tell people there's a lot of things that you can do to increase your connection to the divinity. Astrology is just one of them. Another thing that you can do is numerology. And this is a numerology book that I wrote called The Quest Method, Your Intuitive Destiny Guide. And so it's what you do is if you got a question, you pick 3 numbers intuitively and you look in this book and I answer that question by those 3 numbers. I tell you what you need to do, what's holding you back, and how to remove the block. And so you can find this on Amazon, The Quest Method, Your Intuitive Destiny Guide.
Very cool. I love that. I know we were talking last week and you mentioned you do the Vedic, is it Vedic astrology?
Yes, I do. I do it all. Yeah. I do all kinds of astrology, okay. But the sidereal, the Indian astrology is usually the most accurate when it comes towards making predictions about what's going on in the world. Some of the best astrologers said months ago that the stock market would go crazy this week. And it's definitely going crazy with GameStop. And that's good for those, power to the people. But it's going to crash in April. So if you're doing stocks, just make sure you're being careful. Huh?
Get out now. Yeah. I think I don't want to call them amateurs, but they're still buying stock in a bankrupt company. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they realize they're buying stock in a bankrupt company.
But what they're doing is you're highlighting the corruption of hedge fund companies.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the problem.
I don't want to see them lose money, and they're going to lose money, some people. It's like the real estate bubble. The real estate bubble. So I hope everybody's being smart about this and not jumping on to a fad, because I would hate for somebody to lose their life savings thinking they're going to make
I'm not saying not to do it. There's a reason why it's going on.
No,
I mean,
I see a lot of it on Facebook now.
Yeah, huh?
I see a lot of this on Facebook now, all of this stuff, and it scares me a little.
Let's get back to the animals. I mean, if you're going to put your money somewhere,
so
a little sanctuary.
What's that?
I said, if you're going to put your money somewhere, put it in a little sanctuary.
Please. We have an amazing group of supporters. I say this on every show. I truly believe we have some of the loyalist supporters out there. We have been able to do incredible things. This month, January, has been our best month ever in the past 3 years. We're like 500% up from last year at this time. And we've rescued so many animals last year because of this. We're already into this year, and we're 12 rescues in, and we're at the point now where we've got to start shifting some animals around and building some more stuff for them. So we're sort of like holding back a little bit on rescues. And everybody's money that's coming in now is going for feed and shelter and veterinary costs and all that good stuff. Our feed bill, our monthly feed bill is over $3,000 right now. We feed over 10,000 pounds of feed a month, including hay. It's our biggest expense. And we're so grateful to everybody who supports us. You know, we're looking this year to build our monthly sponsors. So we created a $5 monthly fundraiser. We just want everybody, you know, if we know people don't have a lot of money, but if you got $5 a month that you can donate to the sanctuary, we truly appreciate it. And if we've got 100,000 followers across social media, imagine if everyone donated $1 a month. It would be miraculous. $2 a month, $5 a month. You know, it takes a village. And so $5 a month will change the lives of many, many animals.
And then
I know Kim is gonna
do is to take that Little Bear Sanctuary link and share it on your Facebook. Share it on share it on Twitter.
Absolutely.
And this is a situation.
Yes, Twitter. We're on Twitter. We're on Pinterest. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. It's so easy to share our posts. We just set up this week, and it's really exciting. And it makes it even easier to donate from your phone. All you have to do is text the word pledge or donate to, I don't know the number, 941-413-2236. So again, it's 941-413-2236. If you text the word donate, it'll automatically send you a link and you can just press a button from your phone. It couldn't be easier. And if you don't have money today or you thinking about donating, you can hit the word pledge and you can pledge an amount for next month or pledge monthly what you think you can afford. And then it's so easy to do. Everything is set up for you. So we're excited about that new technology. And of course, you know, thank you for the who was it? It was Super Space Cookie that donated today via YouTube. Thank you. Really appreciate it. You know, there's so many ways to donate to us.
Venmo. Let's put that.
It's
Venmo
really easy. Venmo. Yes, we're on Venmo. Absolutely. I have a pig biting my feet, so I'm going to bring her up. We're going to change the subject. This is Jeremy's little girl.
Hey, Tulip.
Yeah, there it is. Right.
There's Tulip.
All right, sweetie. Here we go. There's Tulip.
That's my sponsor.
Yeah, this is Jeremy sponsored this little girl. She came to us 2 weeks ago, I think, and about 2 weeks. And he named her Tulip. Tell everybody what Tulip means.
Tulip means deeply loved and perfect, or perfectly loved.
Yes, and Jeremy did Jeremy was generous enough to donate her full monthly sponsor, which is $100 a month, and that literally covers everything that this little girl will ever need. Then you can sponsor $25 a month, $50, $75, lots of different ways to sponsor, but a full sponsorship.
I'm going to give some ideas to people out there.
I'm covered in milk.
I love it. If you can't sponsor,
she's a messy girl. She's a messy girl.
Family.
Yeah, she's a messy girl.
She's beautiful.
She's cute, isn't she? Yes, she's a good girl. Yes, she is a good girl. She's milk drunk now. She's like, ugh. Yes, she's so cute.
Girl. She likes to eat. I know she's my daughter.
She is an eater. Yes, she's an eater. All right. You're making a mess, girl. You're making a mess. Let's wipe your face. Don't take my hand off. All right. There we go. All right. You want to run around? Go run around. Go run around.
While he's talking, I wanted to give people this. There's ways that you can help Little Bear Sanctuary, even if you're already giving money. And that is, there are a lot of people that want to do good. They just have to be reminded. So if you take a picture of an animal off of Chris's website, put that picture on your social media, link the little bear on there, and ask for your friends to donate. Ask for a one-time donation. Another thing you can do is if you're working with the corporation, if you're working
absolutely.
We can have that corporation help. We can get your girlfriends together. You can all get together and share the load together. And really, we got to keep blowing that social media up, because it's the popularity that brings in prosperity. Now, this is a business tip for everybody. Popularity brings in prosperity. That means you got to use social media to get your name out there. And so thank you, everyone. So I'm gonna post Little Bear on my social media this week. I'm going to put Tulip's picture on there, and I'm going to challenge my people to go donate, even if it's just a one-time donation.
Absolutely. Yeah. That great. And corporations. Yeah. We've got, if you work for American Express, if you work for Google, if you work for Home Depot, they will match your donation 100%. It's an amazing way to double whatever you donate. And there's a ton of corporations that do it. Check with your employer. There's so many employers who will match 100% of what you donate, especially the big ones like Home Depot, Lowe's.
So I want to do spirituality in here, Chris. For those that are watching, because I'd like to always kind of bring in spirituality. I believe that animals are messengers from spirit. So anytime you see an animal throughout your day, Google, what does that animal mean? What does that animal represent? And just begin to, and also you don't even have to Google what do you think that animal represents? What does that animal mean to you? And you'll begin to see that if you become more mindful of animals, you'll start seeing them a lot more. And not only will you feel their love, but they'll actually also be sending you higher messages. So definitely look at your spirit animals. It's all interconnected. We go in February,
Definitely.
February 12th, we go into the metal ox year. For in the Chinese, we're going into a metal ox year. And so everybody, what does the ox represent? The ox represents finances. It represents money. It represents determination. It's a lot like Taurus, going towards your goals, going towards it. Everything in astrology for 2021 and 22 is about really expanding your business, really going after your goals while also having fun. It's a lot about sexuality and enjoying yourself. So listen, folks, things are getting ready to open up. Things are getting ready to get a lot better, but it's time for you to say, I want to live my life now. What do I need to do now? What do I got to get serious about now to create the kind of future that I want? And hopefully, if you're watching this channel, you're saying, I'm going to get serious about veganism. I'm going to get serious about helping the animals. How can I do that in a steady way? And if someone's watching today, Chris, and they've never been a vegan, what's one or two tips that you can tell them how to get into this lifestyle?
Yeah. It's so easy being vegan. What I tell everybody, and Tiffany can back me on this, dairy is everybody's hold on, usually, always. So the first thing I tell people is change your butter. So something simple as start changing out one product at a time. Vegan butter right now, you would not know the difference ever. I hooked Tiffany on Miyoko's butter, which it's a little bit of a pricier butter, but man, that butter is good.
How do you say that, Chris? How do you say that butter? Miyoko?
It's Miyoko's. I think I'm writing it out. Miyoko's. It's Miyokos. Miyoko's. And Miyoko's she does the best cheeses, the best butter, the best of the best, and it's the really pricey cheese. But there's a lot of alternatives that are much better price. But her butter it's the one made with cashew milk. It's absolutely incredible. It's like European style butter. I can't even talk enough about this butter. There you go. Tiffany put up the link for vegan butter and Miyoko's collection. It's absolutely incredible. But there's Country Crock makes a vegan butter now. So it's so easy to find. Just start with the butter. Another hold off that I find for a lot of people, and I'm going to bring up Laura Romero because she's here with us today. Hey, Laura. We had to talk about creamer for coffee, and for me, these might sound like little things, but it's amazing, to find a product that satisfies you. And I think that's really important to stick with making changes to veganism, making any kind of change. You need to find something that makes you happy, that tastes good. When I began my journey to veganism 11 years ago, there was tofu and Boca burgers. And it got rough sometimes, but Silk soy creamer, they have a vanilla and they have a regular. Silk soy creamer, one of the best creamers if you're a half and half person. If you don't like a lot of sugar in your coffee, make that switch. One of the best. A lot of the other ones just don't cream the coffee like you're used to. So butter and creamer, that's a start there. So easy. And we're going to be doing in March, we're going to do 3 shows back to back every Friday. We're going to do 21-day vegan challenge. And we'll get into the products you can buy, what's good, what's not good. We'll have some vegan chefs on who can cook up some stuff. And every week we'll check in with everybody, see how everybody's doing. A lot of people expressed interest, in how do I start? Where do I start? Where do I go in the supermarket? Like people, the vegan section is actually in with the fruits and veggies. That's where you're going to find your vegan cheese and and all that stuff, and the mayonnaise, and so yeah, we'll dedicate three Fridays in a row just to like a 21-day vegan challenge, and I'm looking forward to that. And I think Elizabeth is on. That was Elizabeth's idea, so thank you, Elizabeth. I'm really excited to do that. What else are we going to talk about, Jeremy?
I mean, we got 8 minutes.
You're on the show side. You're on the show side, so
I'm enjoying it. I really, really am. What got you into it though? 11 years ago. I mean, what was the catalyst?
A friend from high school. We reconnected on Facebook. He was vegan, and he put up all those posts that you don't want to look at.
Yeah.
And there was a link to Mercy for Animals. And Mercy for Animals has a video, and I think it's still under meatvideo.org. And what they do is they show you the life of a pig, of a chicken, of a fish, of a goat. They do every single animal. And it's very brutal, and it's very eye-opening. And they show you the life of that animal from when they're born in a factory farm to how it ends. It's hard for me to talk about sometimes. Yeah. I never ate meat again after seeing that. I believed the lie. I thought, the piggies are running around in the fields and the cows are running around in the fields. And even, today I think about how silly that is, because they're still going to be stabbed in the neck at the end and brutally killed and tortured. But I never knew. I never knew what the inside of a factory farm looked like. I had no clue. I had no clue of living conditions, the horror. They never see the light of day, the overcrowding, the procedures done without anesthesia, female pigs kept in gestation crates for their entire life on their side. They can't move. They've got a water spigot here. They shoot out babies, and babies are castrated and tails cut off and the tusks ripped out at birth. I only had to see it once. It literally was that video that opened my eyes, made the connection. So I'm definitely vegan for the animals.
Maybe they should show that to all the kids in school. Everybody needs to see it.
Yep. Everybody needs to see it. Everybody needs to see it. Yeah. Meatvideo.org. Pretty sure it still exists. Mercy for Animals. Great organization. Mercy for Animals. Yeah. And they have all those, Mercy for Animals is a great resource for vegan stuff, recipes, they have it all, they're activists and they're educators. Veg News, great for all the any kind of vegan news, new products, restaurants, shopping. Veganism is not also about what you wear, no leather, no fur. Buying cruelty-free, buying shampoos, buying soaps that have not been tested on animals. Try to be as vegan, as cruelty-free as possible. We're not all there. We never will be. If we drive a car, we're not vegan. If we use a computer, we're not vegan. But move as closely as we can to doing as least harm as we can.
Is there a website that has a list of soaps and things that are vegan free? Do they have stuff like that out there?
Yeah, PETA.org has an entire section of cruelty-free products. If you have any questions, and now it's so easy. You can look on the back of anything, and it'll say not tested on animals. All of the Target products, a lot of even the products that you think are tested on animals, like CVS brand items. None of those are tested on animals. So you don't have to spend a lot of money. Everybody's moving away from testing on animals, which is absolutely amazing. But even companies, you can look up the companies that test on animals. So if you don't want to support a company that still tests on animals, you can learn all about their products, and it's kind of scary how just like 10 corporations own everybody anyway.
Yeah.
So that kind of even shows you,
Can I give
Ben and Jerry's vegan ice cream.
Wow.
If you love your ice cream, you will not even know the difference. Ben and Jerry's incredible, so delicious. What's that?
Can I give you an astrology thing that's fun?
Yeah, please.
In your astrology chart, your 6th house rules animals. And so usually the sign that is in the 6th house is usually the sign of the animals you end up with, and definitely at least the first several animals. And I am not a very active person. I need to be, but my 6th house is ruled by Aries. And I just started having animals in the last 9 years, and every animal I've gotten, even when they said, oh no, they're very calm dog, it is an Aries. If you know anything about Aries, they're And so I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna show everyone my newest member of my family.
Yeah, let's see the new foster. So Jeremy is fostering the cutest little boy. And his name is Finn, and I'm really it's fostering saves lives. Look at this cutie, Boston Terrier. How cute is
this? Is Finn
going to be a foster fail, Jeremy?
Yeah, he's getting adopted this week. And listen, he looks tired now. I was telling Chris and Tiffany before the show, I'm 240 pounds. He had me running around the block. Everyone was laughing. You saw a 240-pound man out of shape and him holding me. But that's my Aries 6th house. So everyone take a look and see what zodiac sign you have in your 6th house, because that zodiac sign is attached to an animal. And if you want to be blessed, bless the animal that zodiac sign is attached to, and watch all kinds of little syncrasies happen in your life. The show's almost over, but I just want to say, Chris, thank you so much for letting me be on your show today.
Jeremy, great having you. I appreciate you stepping in as the host during my absence. And cute dog, fostering saves lives, guys. If you don't want to adopt and you have some room for a puppy or a kitty and you foster them, it takes them out of the shelter system, gives them a safe place until they're able to find them a potential adopter. So it's an awesome way to save a life. Fostering saves lives. Thank you, Jeremy, for fostering and saving a life. And thank you for being on my show today. Loved having you here. I hope you'll come back. We'll have to do a show on the whole the stuff we were talking about earlier.
Only if you wear the outfit. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Jeremy.
Don't want the fun to end? Grab more refreshments. Then head over to the Goldylocks Productions YouTube channel. With the huge selection of shows, the fun doesn't have to end.